All right.
Have a great show.
All right. I'm Laura Ingraham. This is Ingraham from New York City tonight. Fancy Nancy fails again. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Nancy Patricia D'Alessandro was born March 26, 1940, the daughter and sister of Democrat mayors of Baltimore. Now, at the ripe old age of 82, she's currently serving her 18th term in Congress. Wow. She first assumed her House seat 35 years ago on June 9th, 1987. A different lifetime in politics and the culture.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Whatever happened to predictability? The milkman, the paperboy, evening TV.
I've concluded that I will stop being a candidate for President of the United States.
Seems like yesterday. Well, she's been Speaker since 2019, and before that, from 2007 to 2011. The Democrats love her, though, because she's a first, the first woman Speaker of the House. And no matter what her record, the press adulation, it never stops.
She is a canny legislator. She knows how to get things done.
A historic figure. But more importantly, Nancy Pelosi runs a very, very disciplined caucus.
Speaker Pelosi is brilliant. She is a fantastic speaker.
But tonight we're here to ask, what does Nancy have to show for all these years in office? When she first took over as Speaker, Democrats had 233 seats to the GOP's 202. Well, that number grew to 257 seats in 2009. That was a big majority. But by 2011, the Democrats bled 40 seats under Pelosi's reign, and it ushered in a new GOP majority.
Thank all of you. God bless you, and God bless our great country. Thank you.
But Pelosi dismissed all this. She dismissed the rise of the Tea Party in 2010. And after all, they had rammed through Obamacare. Remember that on a party line vote under her leadership? She didn't care about the fallout. With just her dismal electoral track record alone, one would think that the Democrats would have elected ABN as Speaker, right? Anybody but Nancy? Certainly after the 2018 midterms. But no, apparently the party at this point is just filled with masochists. And it chose to go through the same exercise all over again. Now, Pelosi is best known for her brass-knuckles-style politics, clinging to power by any means necessary, including the use of political threats. 5 years ago, in response to some internal party criticism, this was her response.
When it comes to personal ambition, having fun on TV, have your fun. I love the arena. Every action has a reaction. I try to say that to them. Every attack provokes a massive reaction.
Well, remember, this is the same woman who called the Tea Party AstroTurf totally out of touch. A National Review columnist put the Pelosi saga this way. Anyone who has led them to 4 consecutive defeats, bringing their House caucus to its lowest point in the last 90 years, and whose name has become a cudgel with which to beat every House candidate put forward by the Democrats, ought to be astute enough to know when it's time to go. But no. She's in her 4th year as Speaker, still leading like the old gangster-style party boss, no new ideas, nothing really great to show for herself or America, except stunts.
For those who wish to, we will now kneel for our moment of silence.
The kente cloth perhaps was the most embarrassing moment. She threw out the ligament, too. So it's so embarrassing. But no more embarrassing than her weekly press conferences. You probably miss them, but we watch them so you don't have to, where at times she seems like a frustrated orchestra conductor. Odd. And the woman who is so publicly pro-abortion that she's now barred from taking communion in the Catholic Church still loves invoking the children.
The reconciliation bill was a culmination of my service in Congress because it was about the children. The children, the children, the children. My whole mission in Congress is about the children, for the children. You have to be able to take a punch, and you have to be able to throw a punch for the children. Always for the children.
And let's not forget, the woman who can't remember the catechism is an expert on faith.
Catholic, went to church in Poland and all that. So I respect the views of other people for themselves. I don't think they have any business telling women how they should deal with their own reproductive freedom.
Then, of course, let's not forget how the press loved how she tormented President Trump with 2 impeachments. But you have to ask at this point, what did impeaching Trump do it 2 times actually accomplish? After all, Trump is now beating Biden in a hypothetical matchup. And the GOP grassroots, it's more populist, more America first than ever. Trump's ideas and policies are a lot more popular than those of the old guard Republicans today. Meanwhile, the Democrats under Pelosi, they've driven inflation through the roof, have given Biden a total pass on the border, and have fueled a conservative revival on issues ranging from rising crime to trans athletes and women's sports.
We are here to respect the actions of the American people, to speak out against that, specifically manifested in police brutality.
Trans rights are human rights.
And after 18 months of Joe Biden, with Democrat approval numbers lower than ever, Pelosi's House decided to go back to the well by targeting Trump.
I was very proud of the presentations that were made in terms of values.
Don't be distracted by politics. This is serious. We cannot let America become a nation of conspiracy theories and thug violence.
The president's lie was and is a dangerous cancer on the body politic.
So Pelosi is poised to send her party once again back into minority status, but this time in a political rout that makes 2010 look like child's play. Regardless of the political cost, though, Pelosi believes that by moving the country leftward, it's going to be easier to continue that trajectory once Democrats reassume power. But Fancy Nancy has it wrong. Once this new breed of Trump-inspired Republicans assume the majority, they not only reject her status quo, but roll back her ruinous policies. I hope Nancy has a lot of Jenny's ice cream in that freezer. She's going to need it. She's going to be joining it in the political deep freeze real soon. She can have the Jenny's. I'll take the popcorn because this is going to be good. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.